They say wise men speak because they have something to say.
Yeah, they also say fools speak because they have to say something.
Well,
here we are.
Yeah, you bit that one.
Well.
Relax. All right. Welcome back to The Gambler and the Guardian. I'm Nathan, also known as The Guardian.
And I'm Anthony, known as The Gambler.
I got a question, Anthony.
What's that?
You eat hot dogs?
Corn dogs only over here. No, I'm just kidding. Of course I eat hot dogs. In fact, there's two places that I eat hot dogs.
Let me guess.
I already know you gotta guess them. Go ahead.
Baseball games?
Yep, that's one.
The second one might not be right.
Yeah, it is.
Costco?
Yep.
Oh, money.
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't eat hot dogs at Costco?
I love myself a nice all beef frank, preferably halal. And I think it's funny that a lot of times, here in America, I do feel as though that we have so many freedoms that oftentimes that we might take them for granted. Something as simple as a hot dog.
Well, you're saying like if we wouldn't be able to eat a hot dog? How is that even possible? Like this is a national kind of pastime thing for especially here in America.
Exactly. And here in America, we tend to set the trends for the world, and people all around the world love hot dogs. But it just so happens right now in North Korea that if you eat a hot dog and you're caught eating a hot dog, that you can face hard labor as a punishment for eating a hot dog.
Hard labor. So if I go eat a hot dog and I'm in North Korea or I'm a North Korean.
Chain gang.
Oh, put them in the chain. Not just they're going to have you dig a ditch, which will help you work off eating the hot dog.
Nah, brother. It's real over there. Like they're on some whole other vibes, like whole other anti-American vibes over there. I'm going to share this article that we have found here. North Koreans have reportedly been banned from eating hot dogs as a part of the crackdown on Western culture infiltrating the Hermit Kingdom. Dictator Kim Jong-un has declared that serving the sausage as an act of treason, the Sun reports, amid the rising popularity of a South Korean dish inspired by the U.S. People caught selling or cooking hot dogs face the prospect of time in the country's infamous labor camps, while Pyongyang has also decreed that divorcees could also be jailed. As a part of the regime's efforts to quash capitalist culture among citizens, it has forbidden the sale of bundae jjigae, a dish imported from pro-Western neighbor South Korea. So apparently, I've looked into this. Hot dogs are very popular in Korea, and they've even gone much further than us in ways to eat them.
Gotcha. Yeah, so they're not just eating it a hot dog in a bun like we would traditionally eat it here.
Our traditional hot dog is most likely not even as much of a thing over there, but yeah.
Gotcha. So, okay, so just taking in kind of what you said here. So, if they're caught selling them or even eating them, then you'll be forced to potentially join the chain gang or be in prison.
You're going to prison. For eating a hot dog.
Wow.
Yeah.
For eating a hot dog. And his idea for why he's doing this is because Western culture has a huge thing around eating hot dogs. And he believes that if he stops his people from eating hot dogs, then they ain't gonna...
The influence will slow the influence or stop the influence, yes. It's absolutely absurd.
Okay.
But again,
I'm not the only one.
We're here often. I'm just gonna say it. In America, we're entitled. We suffer from entitlement. We don't see it as that because we have this expectation that we're from here. We're here. This is what we should. It should be this way. And like, hey, there's a whole lot of things that are blessings, that we don't see as that. And that's why I wanted to talk about this, because it's like we're complaining about conveniences, dude. We're complaining about like literal first world problems, right?
that's when they say it's a first world problem. They're talking about like being in America with food.
We can eat whatever we want here.
And not just that, but we have access
The accessibility.
to all kinds of different types of cuisine.
Right. Yes. So, yeah. What about tipping? When you go out to eat,
Yeah.
do you consider yourself to be a good tipper?
Yeah. I think I'm a good tipper. I mean, I usually tip. I don't do it always based on like a percentage. Like nowadays, whenever you go somewhere, literally on the receipt or on, if you buy anything at the register, it pops up and it says, what's your tip? And it has percentages, right? I kind of in a way see that as a little insulting because I don't think like that, but I tip. It usually ends up like 20, 25%, something like that. And the thing that I like to do is I like to use $2 bills.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I have these, I get them directly from the bank, and they're like a crispy $2 bills. And I've had the experience of the waitress or the bartender or wherever I'm at have a moment, because it's fairly rare that someone hands you a brand new, fresh off the mint $2 bill,
Well,
how about you? You a tipper? I know you're a tipper.
I believe I'm an excellent tipper. And what you had mentioned, the printed suggested tip on the receipt.
Yeah.
When that came about, that had a strange effect on me. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I see that on there, immediately I'm like turned off, and like it has an effect. Meaning, I'll end up giving like the highest percentage of tip that's on the paper, but if it wasn't there, I would have given significant more, a significant amount more. And this is
I think that
I understand why it's there.
Yeah, because overall it's encouraging others to tip.
Yeah, because they need the tips, right? And so like I don't know if everybody understands why it is the way it is and why it's so important
to tip.
Right?
Well, because just as we're about to go down this road, I remember Reservoir Dogs. And Mr. Pink, the guy who's running the show goes, okay, I took care of the bill, which means you're not paying your $6-7, whatever it was at that time for your meal.
Just take care of the tip.
Just take care of the tip.
I don't tip.
So Mr. Pink, Steve Buscemi, who's hilarious, and always puts up a fight no matter what he does, does this whole thing around I'm not tipping and why he doesn't tip, and that's their problem, and blah, blah, blah.
Well, this is a problem, believe it or not, that seems to be an American problem.
It doesn't happen elsewhere? Because when I go to Mexico, I be tipping, and they love it.
In Europe, they don't have tipping.
At all.
And in many places that if you try to tip people, they will take it as an insult.
Oh, they'll be offended.
Correct.
Like what they did for you wasn't enough, like you're paying for more kind of thing?
Right. Because of the United States and our type of capitalism that we have in place, we like to try to make as much money as possible and pay the least amount of possible for the work to get done, right? A lot of times this ensures that you're not going to get quality work done by the people that you're employing. But also what happens is, this is why in the United States we have what's called minimum wage. Minimum wage is non-existent in many other places. And the reason minimum wage does exist is for the reason that I just said. And these people are working for tips. So people that work for tips and people that are working for commissions, that have commission-based salaries that are relatively
structured in that
relatively small, that are structured in that way. Yeah, it's not. This is not something that's in favor of the people. So it's absolutely necessary, probably here, to be printing the suggested tip amount on the receipt. But the reason that it's there is because we have a kind of a greedy way of doing things, and
so
we're not taking care of the people like that.
So you're saying that these companies are trying to lower their employee cost as low as possible to eke out as much as profit as possible, and essentially are just pushing the expense of the
back
employees
onto the customer.
Correct. In a different way. Instead of increased prices so they can pay their employees more, they want to advertise a lower price to bring them in the door, but then push on them that, hey, you got to tip them or else, these our employees won't be happy working here.
While, in other countries, they're just like, we're getting paid to do a good job and we're going to do our job. You know what I mean? And over here, it's like these people got to really bend over backwards to get tips because they have to deal with people that are like walking Yelp reviews, that are like, what's this? I didn't order that. I send this back. And then, they go through hell dealing with these people, and then they have to like try to go to the manager to try to get this discounted for these people to hopefully get a tip from somebody that really doesn't give a crap about them anyway.
Yeah, this seems like more of a society thing. How people in society, I tip not only because I want to hook that person up, but it makes me feel good that when I get great service, they get extra.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I will say that if I get really crappy service, I'm not the best tipper. I still tip. I don't leave nothing. I remember at a younger age, one of my elders, he's like, oh, well, worst case scenario, you leave a tip. Just write on there, don't eat yellow snow. Gave him a tip. God. And I was like, oh, that always kind of stuck with me of like, well, that's the worst case scenario is you leave them that kind of tip. I've like never done that. But, If
it's that bad, I'm probably not going to make it to the point of the payment part. Like if it sucks like that, I'm just going to like be like, all right, I'm good on this shit. Like I'll pay you for this shit that I got and I'm out. Like
and just walk out.
Yeah.
So essentially, you'd be a Dine-and-Dasher.
No, I'm saying you. I guess you didn't hear me just say I'll pay for what I ordered, and I'm out. Like, but the tip shit is out. Like that's not optional. If it has pushed me to that point that I'm really to just like push my food forward onto the table and walk off, like yeah.
But you still pay for it,
of course. Yeah, you got to pay for this.
So
shit.
What I'd say is
you got to have class. You got to have class. You got to pay for what you ordered, whether you like it or not. Because guess what? You've ordered it. You've asked for this. Whether it makes your expectation or not, it's your issue. Don't make it the issue of the business. You know what I mean? Unless they promoted it to you specifically as the best X, Y, or Z in the world.
Or something like that. Yeah, because if you order food and you don't know what it is, like I have kid, right? So I take my daughter out. She's like, oh, I want to get this. I'm like, okay, don't think much about it. Because she wanted to order it. And then it comes out. And it just, parent has had this situation happen. It comes out, they take one look at it, and they're like, no. I ain't doing this. And then they want to eat mine.
Bro, I just did this on the way up here, okay? I stopped at this place to get some tacos. And, like, my mind was, like, running 1,000 miles a minute. I was thinking about 8 other things while I was ordering my food, right? And I looked at the menu, it said, ground beef or chicken. And I was like, the hell kind of taco place is this? I looked at the guy. I was like,
carne asada.
I was like, what you got? All you got is ground beef and chicken? And he's like, nah, we got carnitas, we got this and that. So my mind, the way it worked was when my mind found out that there was other meats, right? And immediately was like, yeah, okay, carnitas. Yeah, I don't eat pork.
Oh.
Right? So like I got my tacos, got in the car, you feel me? Like, put my seatbelt on, start riding out, jump on the highway, grab a taco, took a bite of that shit, took a couple chews, and was like,
something's not right.
And I looked at the color of the meat, and I was like, they gave me the wrong. I was like, no, I asked for this. Right? Got off the highway. Literally, there was a dope homeless dude standing there with a sign that said, hungry. So, like, yeah, Blood got 5 tacos this morning. He was like, yo. And it was crazy though, like not on some weird stuff, but like on some just like real stuff. Like his nose was dripping like crazy though, right? So like when I handed it to him, like I kind of like Gave him a quick little like if I
Take
would have
him.
seen the drip earlier, I would have threw him at him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what would that have helped, man? You should have handed him a napkin or a Kleenex.
brother, I was trying to get up out that air. Brother.
Oh, you're like, oh, this might be a COVID situation.
I ain't worried about that. I got strong immunity for whatever comes my way, but I would like to avoid it, any of it at all costs. You know?
Threw it at him.
Let me lock myself in the closet with this dude. Nah.
Well, it's good to know that you wouldn't dine and dash.
I would never dine and dash. I've never done a thing like that in my life. Like, hold on. I digress.
I digress.
I've done things that I should not have. I might have, how does it go? Strategically transfer equipment to alternate location. Shout out to the fat electrician. But yeah, like when it comes to that type of stuff, though, I'm real classy with it.
Today's episode is proudly sponsored by Zenergy, an exquisite energy supplement designed to nourish both body and mind. Zenergy combines the tranquil, stress-relieving benefits of kava with the focused, energizing properties of kratom extract. This refined fusion provides a smooth, sustained energy that calms the mind while sharpening your focus. Zenergy offers an unparalleled experience of clarity and poise. Go to drinkzenergy.com, DRINKXNERGY.com.
I would never do
Well,
that.
there's this story that just came out. A guy named Jared.
Oh, yeah.
And Jared is actually, he's fairly famous in the Bay Area.
Yeah, they all know him.
Yeah, they all know him.
That's what was crazy.
But this guy, he's fast or whatever. Like he's good at what he does. He's alleged a serial bar tab skipper.
Serial bar tab skipper, or I would say a habitual tab runner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, he was just arrested or detained at Red Lobster in San Bruno.
Somebody finally got a hold of Jared.
They finally got hold of him. The infamous Dine-and-Dasher, known around SF as Jared, was arrested and detained once again for skipping on a bill. Though he has since been released, and bartenders be warned that he is currently a free man. San Francisco bartenders have been talking for a number of months about an alleged prolific Dine-and-Dasher offender known as Jared, but the local media just caught wind of this chatter last week. On late December, Reddit thread showed dozens of comments from those saying they worked in the service industry and have many times encountered the so-called Jared's bill-skipping ways. Someone even posted a map from a private Facebook group of bartenders detailing more than 36 SF establishments where Jared had supposedly left without paying his bills.
And that's just the people that were
on that Facebook thread.
That know, like, that are in the know, right? Imagine how many people that feel like, damn, I just got burned by that guy again.
Man, I gotta say, this, if I could deal with the moral aspects of this, it would really help my bank account, because I spend a lot of money going out to eat and do all this stuff. I like to eat well, trying new places. If I was just to leave, man, I'd have a lot more money to put into crypto or whatever, you know?
That's what's odd about this. It's like, I would go as far to believe that this guy is like, has a job, he's doing well. So I had a buddy of mine that, like, one time I was with him and my ex-girlfriend. We walked into a store, into a Foods Co. The guy literally had $2,000-$3,000 cash on him, right? And me and her were shopping, and we were like walking out. And when we were walking out, they were like walking him back in because he had stole a toothbrush.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that's out there that's like that like just got that klepto in them
That's
for
the
no
klepto.
good reason, right? And I think this guy might be one of those people.
Oh, he's for sure. He's on a higher level of klepto than most.
Yeah, he enjoys it. But
There's got to be some aspect of him enjoying the thought of the people afterwards showing up going, he's not here? Where's the money?
Nah, he got it.
Shit, I got to deal with this now. Like, think of all the craziness that ensues afterwards. Like, does that bartender have to pay for it?
I'd love to interview this guy because I'm just curious. He's got to have like a system down to know exactly when to leave. Like, he don't sound like he's been chased many times. Like, this guy sounds like he's quite elusive.
If he got to dozens of places without them catching up to it until like now it's starting to happen, you know, he's been out pretty good at it.
As messed up as it is, I'm sorry, I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny.
I think it's hella funny that this guy, like, this is his reality, and to me, that shit's crazy. And I think it's hilarious. Like,
so his reality now is he was just arrested at the El Camino Real in San Bruno Red Lobster.
what that mean for Jared? Jared gets out, and guess what? Jared still got to eat, dog.
Yeah, he's got to eat.
Jared still got to eat.
For sure. The Chronicle did not publish the suspect's name, saying his connection to additional incidents isn't established. So I'm sure there's some kind of more investigation. Though a separate SF Standard report from Friday notes that the arrest report confirms him as a 36-year-old Jared Scott of San Mateo.
Yeah, 90s baby, huh?
Yep. Yeah. The additional incident, it's described as previous in January, charged for skipping on a 191 meal bill at San Mateo's Pausa Bar and Cooker.
So imagine, like, that's a decent tab, dude. Hey, almost $200
$200,
bro. Hey,
with the
you're a
tip.
waiter, and you're like, hey, they spending word. I know I'm about to get a fly tip on this one.
Oh, yeah. And then Jared's sitting there going, hey, man, I'm going to rack up this bill as high as I can. Enjoy it, then peace out.
Another round. Another round on me.
Yeah. Hey, I want to buy that lady over there a drink. Okay, hey, get her number. Come back.
This man,
peace
Jared's
out.
off the chain. Shout out Jared, man. Jared crazy.
Wow.
He entertained me, Jared.
Yeah, definitely entertaining.
I say that like I wouldn't take Jared's ass down if they was like, help, runner.
And you just run and jump on
I
him.
say that like I wouldn't. Shout out to all our Mexican brothers and sisters. You know, when we was kids, you know, when you play with Mexicans, man, you know, when you run, they did this dope little trip thing from behind. You know, they run up and they'll trip your outside, your back foot.
So it hits your
Exactly. They trip your outside foot, so it hits your inside foot, and both of them go, and you just end up on your side. Yeah, that's how I do Jared ass.
Oh, hey, that'd be a good way for him.
It would. That's what he needs.
Flat on his face.
That slam sound when he hits the ground. That jarring, that little reality dose. Because sometimes people need physical stuff.
Yeah, it's very easy. He could bust a tooth or something, and then he wouldn't even be able to go out and eat very much.
Bet you wouldn't forget about it either.
He'd have to get soup.
Yeah.
Yeah, lower bills regardless. So it
100%.
helps. It'll help.